Oh, let's talk about lesbians. My favorite subject.
Laura, as Ned, also went on about 30 dates.
Did you have any fun?
Rarely. It was just an
pretty
ordeal.
unpleasant, yeah.
She says the pressure of Ned having to prove himself was grueling. Nora was surprised that many women had no interest in a soft, vulnerable man.
My prejudice was that the ideal man is a woman in a man's body. And I learned, no, that's really not.
Do you think women understand what it's like to be a man?
Not at all. No clue. No idea.
That it took a trip into manhood to help her appreciate her own femininity.
I really like being a woman.
Did you like being a woman before Ned?
I did, but I like it more now because I think it's more of a privilege.
I said to her, this is going to be revolutionary because it's been looked at as though men were the perpetrators and women were the victims.
Ultimately, Ned told most of his dates that he was Nora. Barbara seemed more open and friendly, and in the end actually apologized for how she had treated Ned.
Sorry for being bitchy.
Please.
But after 18 months of deception, she was unraveling. Her checked into a hospital with severe depression. Her views about men have changed forever.
Men are suffering. They have different problems than women have, but they don't have it better. They need our sympathy. They need our love.
When was this? This looks like it was recorded like a
And
long
by the
time
way,
ago.
This is old.
That,
I actually did
woman
that
committed
experiment.
suicide.
Yeah.
Swear to
So
God.
wait, you did? Wait. You did that experiment?
Why do you think I'm such giving men virtual hugs
Yeah.
through the fucking?
So wait. I want to hear more.
You just saw it. Like
No, you said you.
I personally was pretty gay for most of my life.
Yeah.
I would mean pansexual, but mostly only could connect on a relationship level with a woman. But that doesn't mean that I didn't become super masculine from being a.
But you still presented as a female, though. That's the difference.
Yeah, but I understood.
I understand your point. Do you understand that that one woman was mean to her, then found out she was a woman and apologized for how mean she was to her?
Yeah, totally.
And yes, that woman did take her life. The woman she wrote a book about this, I believe.
Wow.
Also, now, here's the situation. There's been numerous experiments done on this where they take a woman who's very attractive, they give her a Tinder profile of an average-looking man who's like, we'll just make him 5'10", 5'11". We'll give him an average-looking man. We'll give him a bunch of photos of an average-looking guy, and they try to get dates. There's video after video. These women are like, I hate women. She's like, I can't get a date. I'm swiping on 2s and 3s, and they don't even swipe back. These women are just flaking me, and you should see how frustrated. And these are beautiful women. Why are they beautiful? Why are they so frustrated? Because privilege is invisible to those who have it. You don't fucking understand. If you guys had any idea how difficult it is. Listen, my life has been blessed. I have a really great business and I'm in good shape. I'm 47 years old. I have a ton of friends. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about just the men in general, the average guy who's 5'8", who makes only $70,000 a year. The cashier at wherever. Like, you guys don't understand. Tommy Lahren could not be more wrong about what she's saying. There's so many dudes out there who are laying electrical wire, who are laying concrete, who are building buildings. What the other guy said was correct. Most housing starts in the history of our country.
Yeah.
More construction than the history of our country. These men are out there. But what's happened is because of social media, there's been a software update, and these men don't know how to communicate with women. And so many of them are being left behind. The way that women rationalize it is just to call them losers. You're just losers. That's what it is. And they're not. I'm not saying that the guys who leave those stupid passive-aggressive anonymous comments on your channel, they are losers. I'm saying that's not even 1/1000th of 1% of the men who are being left behind right now.
And the men in relationships too, they're just as lonely. Some of them.
Yeah,
That's
definitely true.
The trap relationship, you know.
What did I post the other day? It was so funny. Like, guys think going to the gym is the only thing that's going to solve their problems. Go get therapy also.
Yes, please.
I mean,
Therapy takes trend.
No, don't do trend. Stability is.
You know where my therapy is? Squat rack.
accomplish goals with your friends. I think that's therapy for men.
My therapy is the squat rack.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, sometimes. But the thing that solves problems for women doesn't always solve problems for men the same way.
Men just need a little help addressing what's inside. So therapy is a good idea, actually.
Just so we're clear, because I don't want to confuse this point too much, 95% of therapists under 30 are female. Most women go to therapy 2 or 3 times as much as men, but the number of women therapists outnumbers men. I want to say 4 or 5 to 1. No, therapy right now is not good for men. Because what they'll do is if I were to go to a therapist, the same therapist you are, what they do is the problems that you have is that you're a defective woman. Michael, you don't do enough womanly things. Express yourself, be more vulnerable. Hey, I run an 8-figure business. I need to make sure that I make payroll this week. No, that's okay, Michael. You're good enough. Tell me let's just talk about your feelings. I can't talk about my feelings. I have to go do shit.
You've been to therapy, and this is like what.
Yeah,
you
of
went
course.
through
Yeah, when I was in the military, they made us one time. Like I would sit there, talk to a therapist. Here's the other thing. I haven't been to therapy in a long time, but I have a lot of friends who are therapists, and we have this discussion, and they even agree with me. Therapy right now is not constructed for men, especially men who have a high burden of performance. It really is.
The reason for that is because quote unquote therapy is based on the blank slate, meaning that what's good for women should also be good for men.
Yeah, whenever
it's based on the idea that there's no gender differences. That's what it's based on.
So a male therapist, you know what they're called? A performance coach. That's a male therapist.
That's what Michael is.
Yes. A female therapist is a therapist.
I totally agree. No woman therapist is going to say really career-driven men need a woman who can stay in their life without being in their life for the rest of their life.
But you need, as a man, as a therapist, to say, yes, she did leave you because you're fat. So stop being fucking fat. No therapist would ever say that to a man. Yeah. But it hurt. The reason when you put your hand on the stove, the reason why it hurts is because evolution is telling you to take your hand off the fucking stove. And a lot of times when bad things happen to you, it's not because you're unlucky or because of energy or astrology or whatever. It's because you did something and it is your fault. And you need to become more comfortable with the fact that some of these things are your fault. Inside, I am Buddha. Outside, I am Tarzan. When you understand that concept, then it makes way more sense. But this is the reason why you can't stick female therapy on men. It doesn't work. You need therapists who understand men who have a burden of performance. Maybe you could have female therapists for men who have trust funds. That would work because those men don't have a burden.
You need the therapist in what's the show? Billions.
Yes.
You need that therapist.
But again, the therapist in Billions was a performance coach.
Yeah.
That might as well be good luck, Chuck. You know how many dudes I've broke up with and they've literally been like, oh, hey, look at me now. And I'm like, that's cool. I'm proud of you.
Look at you now. What do you mean?
It's a true
they're
story.
just doing better in life with everything.
So see that works, guys?
Because they've accomplished
you break up with a girl, you just do better at life.
But I don't care. I cared then. I don't care now. What do you want a cookie for doing better in life?
I broke up with my girl. I have so much more money. Look at me. It's so terrible.
Problem one gone.
One of the biggest problems with quote unquote male therapy is that it's based on this premise of contentment. And really, especially when you're a guy, men must perform. Men have to do. Women just are. Okay. So women.
I think the biggest problem is it doesn't take into account gender differences.
Yeah. And that's important because what happens is when men are based on performance coaching is male therapy, right? Because men have to perform. We have a burden of performance. When we need to go to quote unquote therapy, it's usually because we're underperforming. One of the things that I do, I make sure that I have things for guys to do, right? Because when guys communicate, it's usually they're wrenching on a car or something like that, or they're at golf or they're at the gun range or like we're
playing Warzone.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, exactly. Guys connect when they have a shared project, when they have a shared goal, when they have to build something together, solve a problem together. And that's when, like, I can remember the times where my brother would be working on a car and I'd be there with him and we'd have the hood up, and me, my dad and my brother, we'd have some really good talks at that. And I realized it's because we had a shared project. You want therapy? That's your therapy right there when we're wrenching on a Holly 4-barrel carburetor. Okay. It's when you're making that communication and you're actually talking, or you're actually doing something, or you're performing, whether it's in the gym, whether it's at the golf range,
football
whether it's a gun range, football fields, whatever. That's where that quote unquote therapy takes place, because men are not women and women are not men.